Another menu you need to take cognizance of in the stock track accounting software is the supplier menu. The suppliers are those people that supply you or sell to you. So I'm going to be teaching you how to add a new supplier, create supplier invoice, make purchases, make payments to supplier, receive items purchased or item produced, just in case you are the one producing your items, how to import and export suppliers. So let's get into it. This is what the supplier menu looks like on the stock track accounting software. To add a new supplier, you come here. To make purchases, you come here. To receive items, you come here, and I'm going to explain what make purchases and receive items means. Before I do that, let me add a new supplier. So to add a new supplier, you just enter the supplier's name, the supplier's phone number, and the bank details of that supplier. Once you're done adding that, you click submit and you're good to go. And here you can see the name, the telephone number, the bank details of the supplier, and the balances of those suppliers. The balances means whether you are owing them or they are owing you, or you've paid for an item and you have not collected. So these are the balances in each and every supplier's account, as I have as per the demo account. So now that I want to make a purchase, I'm going to click here and say make a purchase. So I click make a purchase here, then I click on create invoice. So this is my supplier invoice. I'm going to add a supplier to this invoice. The name of my supplier is P&G. Click on select. Then I'm going to click all the items I want to buy from P&G. Let's say one is fish. The second one is Tasty Tom. I want to buy the quantity. I want to buy 500. The price is 840. You can see there is no tax here. For Tasty Tom Tom, I'm thinking of buying 1,000. There is no tax. You can see the price here. And of course, you can change the invoice date to later or before now. You can change the payment date, the due date for payment, to a particular agreement you have with that supplier. So let's say that supplier, you have an agreement to pay that supplier after 7 days. You can check 7 days later and put it as the due date for your payment. So once I'm okay with what I want to buy as invoice, I'm just going to click save. So now you can see this invoice that I just created, invoice number 101. This is the date and this is the total amount for the invoice, and it's telling me that that invoice has not yet been paid. So I can view the invoice, I can print it in PDF, I can email it, I can edit it, I can delete it, I can copy it for another day just in case I'm buying the same items in the same quantity. So now I want to make payment for this invoice. So I'm going to click here and make payment to supplier. I'm going to click here and say make payment. What's the name of the supplier? P&G. Select invoice. Of course, you're going to see the invoice I just created for 870,000. That's invoice 101. When you click here, you're going to see every invoice that you have unpaid for that particular supplier. So here I'm going to pick this invoice I just created, and I'm going to pay 570,000 naira now because I have a credit facility of 300,000 with this supplier. So I'm paying 570 now, and I'm using my GTB account to make the payment. So once I click on submit, it's going to show this P&G invoice 101 as partially paid, and the amount that I have due is 300,000. So that is how to make a purchase and pay a supplier. Now I want to receive items. You know there's a gap between when you make a purchase and when they deliver your items. So now after 3 days that I made that purchase and made payments, they are delivering my items. So I'm going to come to this point and click on receive items. So here I can either receive the items I purchased from another supplier, or you can receive the items that you produce. But in this case, I purchased from P&G. So let me click on purchase here. The date I'm receiving the item is today. You cannot backdate receiving items, so you have to click on the date you are receiving the item or the future date you are supposed to receive the item. The supplier is P&G. Of course, it's going to show me the invoice that I want to receive. So I want to receive this same invoice 101 that I just paid for. And this is the quantity I purchased. I purchased 500 fish and 1000 tasty tom. So I'm going to click how much did I receive. So the quantity received is going to show the quantity uncollected is here. So I'm going to pick, let's say this fish, by the time we counted what they brought, it was 459, remaining one to be complete. For the tasty tom, they brought 995. So I'm going to click on save. And at the bottom here, you are going to see the uncollected amount of items. So here I have 41 left to be collected for fish, and I have 5 to be collected for tasty tom. So after I called them in their office and they're really sorry that they didn't complete the order, they decided to send the rest to me immediately. So I'm going to receive another item from them. So I'm just going to go here to and receive items, click on this P&G also, still click on that same invoice, and you're going to see the uncollected portion. So they said our collected portion for fish is 41, so they brought the remaining 41 and the remaining 5 for my tasty tom. You click on save, and you're going to see it at the bottom here that I don't have anything else to collect from this supplier. So let's go to receive items you produce. So let's say you have a bakery and you're the one that produces your bread, and you have a selling point or an outlet where customers come to buy that bread from. So you can just come here, click the date you want to receive the item. So you click receive items, you select the items that you produce that you want to receive, you put the quantity you are receiving there, let's say 500, and you click on save. Once you save, it tells you that you have produced 500 pieces of fish and you have sent it to your location for sale. And that is how to make a purchase, receive items, and receive purchased items, and also pay a supplier. So that is all you can do here on the supplier menu. Here is the supplier list. It's going to show you the list of all the suppliers that you have. So you can see now in P&G we have 587,500. It means that we've done business worth 587,500 naira with P&G so far. So you have an arrow here that will show you, okay, these are the least suppliers you're buying from, these are the topmost, depending on what you like to see. So you can export this to a CSV file, and you can import from a CSV file as well. Just in case you are leaving StockTrack for good, you can export all your information one by one. And that is all to it on the supplier menu.